Hi, thank you for being here. Your presence, I just want to say, is very appreciated. I just love all of you so much. I love all of your unique perspectives. Yeah, I just love connecting with you guys, and I don't know, I never know what the hell is going to happen when I sit down and push play. I just push play and I just let life live me and do my best to kind of get out of the way and to just be real and to just share what's here. And that's what's here to start this video is there's just this deep appreciation in my heart for this community, for the support that this community has offered me, just the witnessing of my process. Just you simply being here means a lot. And yeah, I'm just really grateful for you all. Today, I'm going through a death. A lot of times when we're depressed, we've adopted as a society a very clinical perspective on depression. Meaning it's something that needs to be treated right away, or it's something that is a problem that needs to be fixed. And it was really quite powerful today as I was feeling this, just hugely depressed. But with the awareness that's here, perceiving it and knowing it for what it is, which is a beautiful death. A beautiful falling away of a version of myself that I've outgrown, that is no longer serving me. And so when we're shedding layers, sometimes, it's like we're going back into the womb. Like I've talked about before, it's not always just a constant expansion. It's expansion, contraction. This is what the universe does. This is what the nature surrounding us does. This is what life does. It expands and it contracts. And there's growth happening through all of it. And so a lot of us, and I know I used to quite big league, I'd have a lot of fun in the expansion phases, but oh my gosh, when I started contracting and feeling the feelings of what contraction is, which is you just start to feel maybe a depression. And I don't even want to use the word depression, but it's just so familiar. You could just say melancholy or a sadness or just like a grieving and a mourning of an old self, of an older self falling away. And I know when I used to go into those phases, I would really resist it. And I was more in the belief system that our culture adopts about it, thinking okay, this is depression. How do I fix this? How do I make this stop? I need to feel one way all the time. But the more I've grown and the more I've deepened on this path, the more I've learned to really embrace the contraction and the die-off phases. The more I've learned to embrace the melancholy, or just more of the just more of and it can be, sometimes when we're resisting it, it can be kind of scary, oh no, what's happening? I was just in a really high state and now I'm in this state of just lower energy. Maybe it can feel a bit darker. Maybe you don't feel motivated. Maybe you're labeling it as lethargy or lethargy or laziness or something, more societal stuff, more societal conditioning. But I've noticed if you just allow yourself to be as you are, and you have this really harmonious and accepting relationship with what we'll call depression, with contraction, with the dying off of the old self, if you have this very harmonic relationship with this process, it can feel very soothing and rejuvenating and peaceful. If you go out in nature and you watch, nature go through its process, you know, you'll notice it's not fighting itself. It's not fighting the process. A tree doesn't fight the process of shedding its leaves, you know, and becoming more barren. And we can be the same way. It's like we're not as different from a tree as we might think in the way we move through evolution and growth and expansion and contraction. And so if you don't fight the process of, you know, the dying off phase, the depression, the melancholy, you'll notice there's like a lot of warmth waiting for you there. There's a lot of grace, there's a lot of gentleness and tenderness for you. And you can have a peace about it to know that this is a beautiful thing that's happening for you, that this is part of the deal when it comes to being in a transformative and evolutionary reality. And so really it's not really about always being one way, always being expanded and in this high state of joy. It's really about being one with evolution, being one with what's actually real in your body and not trying to move from there and get someplace else. Because you'll notice if you're in a die-off phase and you're trying to move into an expansion place, it hurts, you'll feel resistance, it's exhausting, it's not going to work out. It's because you've been conditioned to think that all the good stuff is over there. But if you'll just let yourself be right where you are in the die-off phase, you start to realize, wow, this is just as magical. Every part of evolution has its own beauty and uniqueness and specialness to offer you as an experience. We tend to get hooked on the quote-unquote higher states, but actually some of the most beautiful states I've ever experienced are the die-off phases, are like the times when I just need deep rest, when I'm sleeping a lot, or when I'm just letting myself be. And so if you'll just lean into and embrace right where you are, you'll recognize, oh my God, everything I thought was over there in that other state of being, it's actually all right here. Because all we're ever looking for is oneness, is wholeness, is completeness. And that's always right here in the current, no matter what state you're in, there's wholeness right there, right inside of you. And you don't have to move a millimeter. You don't have to move an inch to experience it. You don't have to try to get yourself into a different place. And so that's what I've been experiencing, just this beautiful die-off and just allowing life to support me. That's the other thing about a die-off phase. What a beautiful time to receive support, to allow life to assist you with your process, with your growth. And so I hope that this video can bring you some of that support. And yeah, it's just been such a joy to sit here and let this come through, this transmission about the beauty of the die-off phase, the beauty of shedding another layer. Sending you all so much love. Thanks again for being here. You all mean so much to me. I'll see you all in the next video. Namaste.